Hello and welcome back to the fourth down focus. I am joined with Kian, not Max, because he's doing something. I don't know what he's doing. He's watching grown men
He's
throw each
he's
other about.
watching men in spandex.
Yeah. Sweaty men in spandex throw each other around, each to their own. But me and Kian are here as we are doing our roundup of the wildcard round games, and we will be making our predictions for the divisional round. I'll just like process only 3 weeks of games left in
Ice
the
medal.
entire year. We've got to wait till September again. But without further ado, we will start where the wildcard game started, and we will start with the Panthers and the Rams. And the Rams get by just about 34-31. It was an unbelievable grab by Colby Parkinson in the very end of the fourth quarter that sealed the Rams win, as well as, I believe it was Xavier Legette, who had an absolutely
Oh,
horrendous.
I was about to mention him.
Was it him or was it Jimmy Horn who had that awful
Nah.
drop?
Oh, that was Horn,
That was Horn, and then
but
Legette
Leggett
was
had
stinking.
quite a few.
Yeah, so just, I mean, I said to you, you don't believe me, but for me, this was like the do or die for the Rams. I feel like this was like the banana peel, and the fact they've got over this makes me more confident that they'll go all the way now.
See, I'm very much the opposite way. I think if you're conceding 31 points to the Carolina Panthers, you could be in trouble. And they're heading to a place where the weather does not favour them at all next week. But obviously, we'll get onto that. In terms of the actual game, great opening to wildcard round. I mean, I was at a Chinese during the first half, so I missed the first half. But second half, I was back home watching it, and it was just, yeah, it was sensational. The Panthers really played up to the occasion. There's a lot of talk, maybe of Bryce Young sort of shitting himself in that sort of. I don't think he did. I think he almost looked at home in that. So weird. I don't know. I thought he absolutely shit the bed, but he played. I actually thought he played really well, and I actually felt a little bit sorry for the Panthers. But look, that drop from Ginny Horn, you've got to hold on to that. I'm sorry. You know, you can see what he's trying to do. He's tried to run with the ball, and he's forgotten the ball, and that's the game over. So look, I think the Rams have done well to win that game, but I think there's a whole new test up next for them, which the Panthers didn't really provide.
I don't know. I just think this was the obvious slip up where they could lose out to what is the worst team in the playoffs, not necessarily by performance, but by record. It was the worst team that got in, and as you said, the Panthers. I think after the first quarter, it was looking like the Rams were going to absolutely run away with it, with how well they started at the gate. Panthers sort of slowed them down and brought themselves back into the game, which, I mean, they had to do, otherwise it would have literally been a complete blowout. But they battled well. It looked likely after that blocked punt by former Giant Isaiah Simmons, finally doing something useful for somebody, I guess. But after that, it sort of looked like it'd be maybe the Panthers' day, and then all of a sudden, Colby Parkinson does a catch. That's a tight end making that catch. I don't know what it is about tight ends this year, but I hear him like either that Bowers catch as well. Like they're making some ridiculous catches, and especially just very check down safe options. They're making like Parkinson grabs it, spins 180 degrees, and runs into the end zone. Like what? But I think, yeah, for me, the Rams. I mean, I'm going to back them because obviously they were my pre-season Super Bowl show, which seemed a bit daft at the time, but they've been very, very good this year. And they needed that more just to snap that loss thing as well. Now, that's a win, which they needed for confidence to take into, as you said, a whole other test in more so from the weather than the opponent, in my opinion. I think that'll be their biggest concern will be the weather when they're next there, which we'll get into. But I think, yeah, it was closer than it should have been. I think they probably should have walked away with it with how well they started. But you got to give Bryce Young his flowers because you said he could have shit the bed and he didn't against a very good Rams defense. He obviously made mistakes in the game, and especially in that first quarter. And it's going to happen. It's your first playoff game. You're going to be nervous at the start, but it was important he didn't let it get to him, and he managed to sort of settle himself down and bring himself back. Fucking Jalen Coker, by the way. I had him at over 25 yards. I think he cleared it within about 5 minutes.
We'll get on. We'll get on to one of my bets, which really annoyed me during the wild card round. But can I just say, I think the Panthers now. This is the future's quite bright for them. They've sort of set decent foundations. Okay, they didn't have a winning record, but you don't necessarily need one in that division to get into the playoffs. So the foundation's been set. Bryce Young's played a lot better this year. I'm quite interested to see what they do next year, to be honest.
Yeah, I actually won money on this game. I think I won like 40 quid off this.
I won fuck all on any game.
But we'll move on to the next game, which was this. The Bears beat the Packers and I mean just beat the Packers in the end through what is one of the worst collapses I have seen in a very, very long time in a playoff game. Because I
I
can't lie, I fell asleep at halftime thinking this game was over. I'll be brutally
so
honest,
I,
we went to bed because I was like, oh, this is done. There's no way.
I was at the football on Sunday, so I didn't see any of this game, and I'm fucking gutted that I didn't see any of this game. Anyone that watches this knows that both me and Max are big backers of the Bears. Maybe not in ability, but we just, going back a bit of history there. And yeah, they managed it. They managed to beat their biggest rivalry in a massive game. And that picture of Ben Johnson at the end is fucking brilliant when he's shaking LaFleur's hand. Them two really do not like each other. But in terms of actual game, there's not much I can give you. I didn't watch it. But Caleb Williams made a great throw right towards the end. I don't know how important it was at the time, but I've seen the video back and it looks sensational. But like I say, didn't watch the game, so I was busy. But I'll pass it over to you because you watched at least a half of it.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the highlights as well. I mean, look, that first half, they were absolutely the Packers were literal belt to this Bears team. It looked like it was going to be a complete blowout. It didn't even look close. It seemed like two teams were on a completely different level to each other. The Packers looked just so calm and they just dominated everything. And then the game they just blew up. And I don't know how it changed so badly in a 15-minute break at halftime. How do you go from complete domination to losing this game? There was no world they should have lost this game. They were so comfortable on both sides of the ball. Jordan Love was making plays. He was making it look easy with some of them throws in the first half to Jaden Reed. I think that Jaden Reed touchdown was actually quite diabolical, where he cut him open badly. Whoever the Bears DB was, it was a bad. I put it this way: I wouldn't want to see that one back if I was the Bears DB because he got absolutely rinsed by Jaden Reed. But I don't know. I can't fathom into words. I mean, obviously, I didn't see the whole second half, so I can't really tell you much about it. But I watched the highlights, and I'm just thinking this looks like a different team to what I watched in the first half. Like, it was baffling to see. But there was no way in hell the Bears should have won this game ever. The Packers were a gift from God.
In big games like this, you shouldn't, but you can get complacent
They
when
did.
you're leading by
They
that
must have.
much.
They must
They
have.
must.
How many points do they have at the half? You talk from it. But I'm going to check how many points they had at half time.
They must have gone in at half time thinking, yeah, this is job done. And you can't do that in games of this magnitude. Look, the Bears are where the Bears are for a reason. Okay, they're not the greatest team in football, but they win games. So they're where they are for a reason. You cannot do what the Packers did. And if I was a Packers fan, I'd be fuming. And I'd want people sacked, if I'm being completely honest. I'm surprised LaFleur's kept his job. I think maybe the manner in which they lost kept him in a job. We'll see. They might sack him. But I don't know. I think, me personally, I'd want people gone. I'd want, heads to fly after a result like that.
I'll tell you who has lost his job is Brandon McManus, by the way. What a choke. Two midfield. This is the point. If you look at the drives, first quarter, the Bears had a field goal and an interception. Packers had a touchdown. Second quarter, missed Packers field goal. Bears get turned over on downs. Packers touchdown. Bears get turned over on downs again because Ben Johnson kept going for it on fourth down when they couldn't convert it. I don't know what he thought he was doing. He was like on his own 30-yard line going for it when they got they'd already gone over 3 on downs and they still decided to go for it. Downs again. Packers touchdown. Caleb another interception. That's the first quarter. So all they've done is kick the field goal, and then all of a sudden you got Bears field goal, Packers punt, Caleb interception again. He threw 3 picks in this game, and they still won. Packers punt, Bears field goal, and then fourth quarter. I mean, what is this? I mean, Bears field goal, Packers punt, Bears touchdown, Packers touchdown, Bears touchdown, Packers miss field goal, Bears touchdown, Packers lose the game.
I just think, I mean, we'll touch on it in the predictions, but the missed field goals from Brandon McManus is kind of why I'm swaying towards the Bears. That is a horrible place to go and kick. But Brandon McManus is also.
They shouldn't have needed to. That shouldn't have mattered. They shouldn't have let fucking.
Brandon McManus is a lesser known pervert, actually. There's a lot of NFL perverts that are widely spread, but I mean, he is also one if you look into it. So I'm kind of glad he missed. If Justin Tucker's not in the league, he probably shouldn't be either. So, but yeah, what a choke job.
I mean, it shouldn't have mattered. They should have won this game anyway, irrespective of them missed field goals. They were so far ahead. 3 picks on the opposition quarterback, and you still don't win the game. How? How is that even possible? How
I
many
just
times
think,
has there been a game where the opposition quarterback's been picked 3 times and they've still lost?
I mean, I just look. Maybe Caleb didn't have his best game, but I think he came up clutch in the moments where he had to come up clutch. But this, for me, isn't a game the Bears won. It's a game the Packers lost.
Yeah. All I'll say is, if you're talking about Caleb Clutch in their fourth quarter, you slew me when I said about Bo Nix.
Look. I'm not saying he does it all the time. I'm just saying in this particular game,
It was a very Broncos performance, I think, for the Bears.
yeah, just slightly more exciting.
Just they
If you take
shit. The best part is shit all for 3 quarters, and then just in the fourth quarter, decide, okay, we're playing now. We'll
if you take the first number away from both numbers on the scoreline, that's a bit more Broncos.
1-7.
Yeah, that's a bit more Broncos.
We will move on though to the AFC side of things.
This was a great game.
Jags versus the Bills. The Bills just again. All these games were quite good at the beginning of the week. They were all 1-score close games that were decided by, well, a little moment of magic at the end for the Bills this time to get past, which was, I think I backed the Jags, but I think I betted on the Bills because I was like, I'd rather bet on the Bills because I was more confident if Josh Allen turns up, this is a different story than. But I mean, some of the mistakes the Jags made in this game to let the Bills win it as well. It's a bit more of a, I don't know. I can't tell with this Buffalo team in all honesty. I don't know what to think of them.
I mean, you both backed the Jags, and I told you on the episode, look, this is playoff Josh Allen, and it's not against the Chiefs. And he showed up, he performed. I actually thought he was pretty good. The quarterback sneak with Josh Allen is a fucking cheat code because that guy is so big. He's pretty impossible to stop when you get him going like that. I was actually quite impressed with the Jags as well. Look, this is the end of the road for them this year. I do, when we get onto that episode, I do believe Liam Cohen should be coach of the year for me, how the way he's turned that program round. But the Bills just had a little bit more quality. And fuck Bashal Tutin because he didn't score a touchdown and I would have won 300 quid. However, I'm a big Bills backer. Everyone sort of knows that. I've got a Bills flag somewhere in my house from one of the very many Chiefs games. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this Buffalo team. I think if there's any year to do it, it's now. And I don't even think that their team is that good. I just think they have quality in the right areas. And Brandon Cooks, by the way, he's been showing up recently. That's a bit of a, throwback.
Blast through the past.
Yeah.
To be honest, right, my thinking was the Bills are on the road in the playoffs, and that never ends well. It just doesn't. And this must be one of the first times that the Bills have won on the road in the playoffs.
It's the first time Josh Allen has won a road playoff game in his career.
That's what I meant. Yeah, I'm not surprised because it never ends well. But this time it did. I mean, Tedor throwing that fucking pick first play of their game-winning drive is bad. But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. I watched the video and it was Parker Washington against like elite corners, and he is sneakily very good. If you look at all the elite corners he's faced so far this season, there's like one route and he just kills all of them. Like he's very, very good.
I think he's very, very underrated as well.
He's just a useful utility player who just runs the slot and he's very, very good at it.
I mean, he went for over 100 yards in this game.
107 with a touchdown, yeah.
Exactly. So.
But yeah, again, you just have to think with the Bills, is this finally going to be... I mean, it looked like the Jags, again, were sort of running away with it for a period of time, and then the Bills crept back into it and turned it... It's just like every team who started well, bar the Rams, ended up losing. Rams are the only team who started well who ended up winning the game. Every team who started well was just terrible.
And I suppose nobody started well in the next game, so...
No. Yeah, I think the Bills... If there's any year where Josh Allen was going to win a Super Bowl, it's this year, but I don't think the winner's going to come from the AFC side of things, put it that way. I think there's too much talent on the NFC side of things, which we'll get onto. We've already said about the Rams, and I just don't think... I think they're going to struggle against an elite, and I mean like elite defense, and there's a couple that are left in this side, especially on the NFC side of things, that they're going to... Even, the game coming up, which we'll get onto, that's an elite defense they've got to face there, so it's interesting to see how that one will go. But... we will move on to this game, and what a fucking brilliant result!
This was a weird one for me.
I've got so much to say about this game.
I'll go first. I haven't got as much. I knew this was going to be a half decent game when on the first drive they got down to first and goal with about 4 plays. The Niners just keep doing it, man. I mean, they've got such a fucking battered and bruised team. It just doesn't matter. If CMC is playing at his level, you cannot stop him. And the Eagles just, yeah, they're fucked. And I was a big fan of them being fucked because I hate Nick Sirianni. Did you see, by the way, while on the topic of this game, the English announcer calling the McCaffrey touchdown?
Yeah.
It was great. I enjoyed that. And so did Drew Brees, apparently. But I just think, yeah, that the Eagles, they're a bad reigning Super Bowl team. You know, when
I
you
mean,
look at previous champions, they've not
yeah.
impressed me all year, and now they're not playing anymore. So I think it's probably right that they're out of the playoffs. I'm sure there was riots on the streets of Philadelphia as per fucking usual. But yeah, I'm glad they're out because they're just a very unlikable team.
Yeah, I think I'm convinced the 49ers injury, everyone just makes CMC better. Like, he was rubbish in the first half of this game, and then Kittle goes down with an Achilles, and all of a sudden he's bloody unbelievable again. It's like a superpower that like sacrifice other people to like charge his ability up. It's like activating his X Factor on fucking Madden. Like,
he's crazy.
But a few things to say. That Juwan Jennings passing touchdown was brilliant.
That was great. He did actually overthrow it, but it was great.
He did overthrow it, but
great
CMC is a freak and just adjusted like some prime wide receiver, even as a running back, to catch that ball. Eagles fired Kellen Moore because they will do anything but blame the actual problem, which is their quarterback who's shite. They could just blame him because he is half the problem, but they refuse to blame Jalen Hurts because he's their golden boy, won them a Super Bowl. Maybe after their 17th offensive coordinator, they realize maybe it's not them that's the problem. AJ Brown couldn't catch a cold.
Oh, he's awful. He's dog shit.
He needs a trade. He needs a fresh start somewhere, I think, because it's just not. I mean, why does Nick Sirianni try and kill him every drive? Like, what's that all about?
Then he hasn't got to throw him the ball, and he can just go back to running it.
Yeah. Also, why did Demarcus Robinson decide to turn into a prime Randy Moss for 60 minutes in this game? Like, what was that all about?
He wasn't on my betting market.
No, it's just to say I didn't have Demarcus Robinson going for over 100 yards and a touchdown. And if you did, you're a psychopath or a degenerate.
This is the same 49ers team that sent Kendrick Bourne for 158 yards this season.
It just feels like whoever goes down. I mean, Kyle Juszczyk had 4 fucking receptions. He's a fullback. It just feels like every time someone goes down, it doesn't matter because it's just someone else. I mean, they made bloody Jake Tonjes look like an elite tight end for 4 weeks when Kittle was injured.
I've got a question. He won't win it, right? There's no way to win it. There's coaches that have done better this season, but I think Shanahan should be in with a quiet shout at coach of the year.
Be in. This team is crippled, and he's still got to the divisional round at minimum. They could still win again.
But
we'll get on to predictions, but I'm not so sure that they're a foregone conclusion for going out yet.
No, I wouldn't say so.
But yeah, it's just the Eagles just need to look in the mirror and realize that Jalen Hurts is not that good. I've been banging this drum all year. He is not a top 12 quarterback in the NFL, and I will die on that hill. He's putting up Puka Nacua numbers for the past 6 weeks.
What we'll do is, James, and this will be fun. We'll do an NFL quarterback ranking after the draft.
Yeah. I would not put him top 12. He might get top 15.
We'll do a tier list, and I'll have Mendoza as fucking top dog.
Jalen Hurts for me falls into like the average NFL quarterback thing. If they had a proper quarterback, and I mean someone who throws the ball, they would be a lot scarier.
I think he works though. Okay, it didn't work. It didn't work this season, but they want to.
It only worked one season.
But I would happily have him for one season to win a Super Bowl.
But they won the Super Bowl because Saquon Barkley was a freak last year, and that's why they won the Super Bowl.
They had to compensate for RPOs because of his legs.
I just don't think. I think that all these offensive coordinators who have left as well. You mean look at Shane Steichen, who's obviously not a bad coordinator, but they blamed him for being crap. I'm just not sure that Kellen Moore is the problem in Philadelphia, but they'll refuse to even look at Jalen Hurts.
I mean, yeah. He does call like one play.
But I get like they're predictable, but at the same time, like what else are they supposed to do? They got a quarterback. They got a quarterback who's got a twink of an arm who can't throw it more than 30, 40 yards anyway.
I swear it's not Kellen Moore.
Who was it? Sorry,
Kevin Patullo, isn't it?
Patula. Sorry, yeah, Moore's
Yeah.
the DC. But they just do anything but blame the quarterback. I think at some point you've got to look in the mirror and be like, oh, actually, to be fair, he might be part of the problem.
I even think their great defense they had last year has regressed this year.
It has regressed massively.
Jalen
Quinion
Carter,
Mitchell, for me, in this game, he got absolutely torched, but then because he made 2 picks, it looks like a really good performance, which it is. 2 picks from a DB is good, but the first quarter, he got torched by DeMarcus Robinson.
which is not a sentence you want to say in
No.
But like, I told you he's 6, sorry. But maybe Jalen Carter's conscience has caught up to him. Who knows? But that defense has not been the same unit. It's not been the same team this year.
No.
And it's been nice. At least we're going to get a new winner. And it's like a guaranteed new winner. Not first time winner, obviously, but we're going to get a new winner of the Super Bowl. Not the reigning champion, which for the last few years has been skeptical right up until the Super Bowl. So
we can't get a new winner. Is anyone in this who's not won a Super Bowl?
Bills.
They never won a Super Bowl?
They've lost 4.
Wow.
I think they've lost 4. It might be more than 4, actually.
Oh, I will say, I will also laugh at the Eagles fans who laughed at us when they signed Adoree Jackson. Yeah, well done, lads. I hope you're enjoying that shit show, because fuck me.
But yeah.
So one DB who's impressed with this year, and I don't know what year of his career he's in. I believe it's his rookie year. Upton Stout for the 49ers. Every time I watch him, he's been so good.
To be honest, I don't see much 49ers because they're usually in the same red zone window as us. I'm usually too pissed off to pay attention to any other cunt. So anyone that kicks off, like the Cardinals, everyone's like, Cardinals are shit. I don't know, I've barely seen them.
Yeah.
Apart from that one hilarious play.
I just think the Eagles need to have even looking at Nick Sirianni.
They need to clear out, top to bottom.
I just think clear everything out. For me, just not the team. And the 49ers, fair play. As George Kittle said, God forbid a white boy has a bit of motion with Brock Purdy.
This isn't the year to clear out. There's too many head coach needy teams.
Yeah, but they'd automatically jump to top of the pile, surely.
I don't know.
Them and the Ravens would be top 2.
My thing with this is, right, obviously you've landed John Harbaugh. We're probably going to land. I don't know how you say it.
I was going to speak about this after we run through these games. Have a little roundup of the news.
I think it's like Clint Kubiak. He's at the fucking Seahawks anyway.
Seahawks offense, Clint Kubiak.
That's it. I thought that's how you said it. Like, he is a young up and coming coach who would rather go to the Raiders than to maybe Baltimore because there's less expectation on him at the Raiders.
Yeah, I think if you're going Eagles or Raiders, you probably want a vet who's
you need to win now.
Yeah, you can't really take too much chance on. But we'll get on to it in a minute. We'll do a little roundup after we finish these games of the coaching carousel. Next up,
terrible.
Fuck me. This was awful. It was such a good run of games, and then this happened.
It was. I tell you, it was always going to happen.
I don't have a lot to say about this game. I backed the Chargers, right? And if Justin Herbert had more than 0.3 seconds to throw the ball, it might have been a different story. But that offensive line, every time I see the PFF rankings of the Chargers offensive line, I have to point it out. I start laughing. Bradley Bozeman ranked 41 out of 41 centers. There's a 32-team league, and you are 41 as a starting center. How is that even possible? Their offensive, who was it? Becton, whoever it is, on the right guard. It was 36 out of 37.
Yeah,
I think they were all bottom 2 in their position range.
It's a poor O-line, but I'm not going to get into hypotheticals because that's what Chargers fans want me to do.
Yeah.
Look, the Chargers don't win playoff games. I look back at the start of the season when Max was saying they're a Super Bowl candidate. No, they're not. They won't be for years. I'm sorry. This team are the ultimate choke jobs. They've flown all the way across the bastard country and scored 3 points. And they limited them to 16. They could have won this game if their offense was firing, but the Chargers just don't do it in the playoffs. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. This is just not a team that's ever going to win a ring while he's at quarterback. And I don't think he's a bad quarterback, but I don't think he's got the mentality to be a top-level NFL quarterback.
I just don't. I feel bad for him because it's never. There's always something there's always something that never helps. Like there's always injuries or a certain position isn't very good every year. And this was finally the year at the start of the year where it looked like they had everything to be. That's what I get when they had like Joe Alt healthy, for example. He is an elite offensive lineman in this league. Unfortunately, he's been absolutely crippled all year. So it's not helped. The fact they even made the playoffs, but after watching this game, the fact they made the playoffs is amazing. Because how on earth were they winning games with that offensive line?
Their expectation level, that is not amazing.
I don't know. I just feel like with how bad that O line was. I will say as well, is this Patriots team is in trouble because they were not good in this game. I get the Chargers have an elite road defense, but there's better defenses coming up, even on their side of the bracket, that they ain't going to beat if they play like that.
They weren't the greatest, but I look at it. Okay, I've already spoken about Bryce Young, his first playoff game. This was Drake Mays. He didn't really impress, but he got the job done. And I think, look, that's going to do them all a world of confidence. This is a team who haven't had a playoff game in 7 years before this game, and a historically very fucking good organization that wants to win playoff games.
It's too soon. They shouldn't be allowed in the playoffs yet.
The pressure level, it is too soon. I agree.
But they should be like banned for a couple more years.
We've not won a playoff game in 20 odd years, mate. So, but
it's awkward because I like Drake May, but I don't like the Patriots.
Yeah, it's precisely that for me as well. I think they've got quite a likable team, but I can't distance them from the Patriots of the past. Aaron Hernandez, Tom Brady when he was playing was a prick. Do you know what I mean? Belichick, Rob Kraft having Thai massages allegedly. Like, there's so much to hate about this organization. But I'm struggling to hate them at the minute.
I like Mike Vrabel as well. Like
exactly, I really I liked him at Tennessee. Yeah, I struggle to hate a team that I grew up absolutely despising.
And it's really awkward. But I just think they really didn't impress me. They really struggled in this game, and they shouldn't have because the team put up 3 points. They shouldn't even be close, but they still struggled on offense to do anything really. I believe they only scored 1 touchdown the whole game, and it was a Hunter Henry touchdown. But I don't know. I'm not convinced with this. I mean, I haven't been convinced by this Patriots team all year. I'm still waiting for them to beat like a fully healthy, good team because even the Chargers were just diabolical in this game. They were so bad. So I'm still waiting. They could win a Super Bowl and potentially not beat anyone that good with how this season panned out. So
yeah, you're not potentially wrong. But again, I know I'm the biggest hypocrite ever here because I'm going to say you can only beat what's in front of you, and then I'll slag off the Broncos. But you can't only beat what's in front of you. They've looked more convincing against the teams in front.
This is their second win in 18 weeks against a team with a winning record, I believe.
I mean, they've come very far from week 1. They lost to Eugene Cyril Smith in week 1.
A quarterback so bad his own name is a slander name.
Precisely that. You've got to look at it this way. They were not expected to make the playoffs this year. Like, if they get battered in the next round, it's still an improvement. Drake Mays looked unbelievable. This is another organisation, a bit like the Panthers, who've got a very bright future, and I hate the fact they've got a bright future. I don't mind the Panthers. I love Luke Kuechly as a player, so I've got a bit of a soft spot for them. But fuck the Patriots, and I cannot say that. I've not said that in about 7 years. Like, I've not needed to say that in so long. But yeah, fuck the Patriots. I can't be dealing with them already being back at this level while we've maintained ourselves at this level and then got lower.
They can't be a Super Bowl team again.
If they win it this year, then it just solidifies to me that everyone who says, "Oh, the draft can make you better, the draft can make you this, the draft can make you that," only if you've got the right owners, because the same teams seem to always be decent, and we don't because we've still got a nepo baby running our organisation.
I've just seen the 49ers have complained because there's an electric substation next to their practice field.
I've seen this. I looked into it. I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but I looked into it, and apparently it can cause injuries. Like, apparently it can fuck with muscle tissue or something. So if that is the case, they probably need to move training facility immediately.
Yeah, because I would.
I've seen a video. of them practicing the other day. You can fucking see it in the background. So I mean, they can't blame that.
No. We'll move on to I believe the last game. Yeah, the last game.
I forgot this game happened.
Right, I have. My main thing to take away from this game, and I'm going to be so serious when I say this, I do not care if Nico Collins is injured. This is a Super Bowl contender, in my opinion.
And it's weird because
the Houston Texans, in my opinion, are one of the very few teams who can win the Super Bowl.
It's weird because for a lot of this year, all 3 of us sat on here and said we're really not impressed by this Texans team.
No, but that defense is just wow.
I'm more focusing on it from the other side, not the Texans. Everyone knows the Texans are good. My biggest takeaway from this, that might be the last time we ever see Aaron Rodgers.
Also might be the last time we ever see Mike Tomlin, as he is now, as we'll get onto in a second.
I think he'll eventually come back into the league. Whereas Rodgers, I think he's done, and he seems the type of player for me where when he's done, you'll never see him again. He's not going to be a pundit. He likes drugs too much. So if that is him done, what a career! I mean, okay, he hasn't won all them fucking rings, but he contended with Brady for so many years, and for a lot of us, like our sort of age, he sort of like helped us love the game. So I'll be sad to see him go. Okay, he ended his career in a bad situation, in a bad place, but if I think he should have retired at the Packers personally.
Yeah. Just not impressive at all. The thing is, like, again, it's not one of the games where the Texans turned the ball over a few times and the Steelers just didn't do anything with it. Like, I think, was it 2 false fumbles they had in this game? And CJ Stroud threw a pick and they still only put 6 points on the board. And Rodgers threw 1 pick, but then Rodgers had 2 fumbles. So it's just like, it's a mess. But I just think the Texans have, I mean, like I said, like Nico Collins out, right? They only had 3 catches in this game for 21 yards. It was, as what was it Stephen A. Smith called him? Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, 144 yards and 1 touchdown. Christian Kirk, for all the actual NFL fans who read his fucking name.
To be fair, the Texans know what they're doing. They don't tweet anyone else's name with the first initial of their name, surname.
Yeah.
Well, every time it's fucking Christian Kirk, they put C. Kirk. Like,
it's clickbait. They'll get more impressions because they'll put C. Kirk in.
They know what they're doing.
Someone will think they got Charlie Kirk playing wide receiver.
Mate, what a remontada that is. I watched him get shot.
But I think I just know that they need him. I really don't. I think CJ Stroud, for some reason, just decided to, fuck it, I'm going to be good again for the past couple of weeks.
I think he's their biggest limitation.
I don't agree. I really don't see much limitation. I'm not saying he's elite and he's not as good as, obviously, there's way better quarterbacks in the playoffs. But this defense, in my opinion, is the best in the NFL.
No, it's a great defense, but I think the defense against a better team, okay, it's going to stop them. But against a better team, CJ Stroud, I don't know. He's their biggest weakness for me. And let's not forget, they're slowly turning into a better version of the Steelers, where they're winning the wildcard round and then losing the divisional.
I just can't look past. I mean, I'm trying to read like some of the players on this defense. You've got Daniil Hunter, you've got Will Anderson, you've got Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter in the backfield.
It's the last defense in the league that I'd want to run at with a ball.
Aziz Al-Shaair, Jalen Petrie, To'o. Like, there's so much talent in this defense. Like, you've struggled to find a weakness in the entirety of the defense. They've got good D tackles. They've got elite edge rushers. They've got elite DBs. They've got good linebackers. I struggle. If they even put half decent performances on offense, then they're going to be absolutely fine.
I don't want them to win the Super Bowl solely because I don't want an organization that was built after and made after our last playoff win to have been established and then win the fucking Super Bowl since we last won a playoff game.
Yeah, I don't know. I struggle to see a team scoring many points. I mean, how many teams have put points on this Texans defense? Like a considerable amount this season.
Maybe earlier in the season. I mean, we put up quite a few actually.
I'm trying to look at the last time they gave up. Like they gave up a lot to the Colts in the last week, but I believe they didn't.
They gave up like 24 to us.
I mean, the Colts they did, but they also didn't play all the stars for the entire game, so it's a bit of a hard metric to post on that one. But you put 21, and you're one of the higher ranks in the last couple of weeks. You put more than the Colts, the Bills, the Jags put 29 on them, and that is the most points they've given up in a game this year. That wasn't the Colts.
For me, they were trying very hard in that Raiders game. They couldn't stop Ashton Genty, and I'm not going to kid myself and say he's an elite running back right now in the league. I'm going to wait till next year. James Cook is a better running back. If they end up meeting Buffalo, that's where I think it ends for them. I know they've already beaten them, but I just think Josh Allen is hungry this year. I see him winning the Super Bowl.
I think Josh Allen struggled against good defenses this year, and this is a whole nother. I mean, the Texans beat the Bills.
Josh Allen, with David Carr, by the way. No, not David Carr. Fuck me.
Davis Mills. I mean, Josh Allen had an all right game, but he didn't throw a touchdown.
But for me, I've said it. Look, I said it at the start of the season that I think Josh Allen will win a ring this year. I think playoff Josh Allen is a different player to this season's regular season Josh Allen.
I mean, am I the only person who has their Super Bowl matchup still possible? Because I put Rams versus the Bills. I think you had Eagles, Bills, and Max.
I think I did have Eagles, Bills.
And Max had Ravens, Eagles, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so he's just fucked.
So you're both done. It's only me who's
I
Super
can
Bowl.
still have one team in it.
I still think mine's realistic as well.
What did you have?
Rams Bills. I think it's more than
Rams, Bills. I had
possible.
fucking Bills. Yeah, Bills, Eagles. I think I had,
But
but I didn't.
yeah.
I didn't really foresee this downfall of the Eagles. To be honest.
I didn't see the downfall of the Eagles, the Chiefs, the
No.
Ravens, everyone.
No, exactly
But
that.
yeah. So quickly, before we move on to our predictions, we'll have a little run through of some of the news, as we said. So there's been a bit of movement in the coaching carousel. Obviously, the one I'm the most happy about is it's not actually 100% confirmed yet, but I believe it is done.
Yeah.
Is John Harbaugh is the new coach of the New York Giants. 5-year deal, $100 million for him to become one of the most paid coaches in the league. And I think this is giving me Andy Reid leaving Philadelphia vibes for me. I really do believe it's that kind of appointment for us. We've cried out for stability at head coach for years. This is literally the most stable person you could probably get in the time where you need it. I've also seen Todd Monken might come over as OC. That would be even like as big as Harbaugh, because Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterby in a Monken offense with John Harbaugh is scary times for the rest of the NFC East, I reckon. I genuinely believe we have a chance next year of winning this division, because this is the thing we needed the whole time. Has been our coaching has been shocking. That has been our biggest limitation for the past however many years, is we just haven't had the coaching to be successful. And now we finally get John Harbaugh in the building, and I can't be more excited about how good the next few years could be for us if this works. Because I can't believe the Ravens fans slagging him off. What's he had, like 3 losing seasons in 18 years?
I get it. I get it after this year.
After this
But
year's
at the
fine.
same
But it
time-
was always like it's always going to go stale after a certain amount of time. 18 or whatever stupid amount of years it has been for him in Baltimore. It's always going to eventually come to an end. You know, all good things like that come to an end eventually, and it was going to happen. But I think they're really downplaying how good he has been for that organization. I mean, he is going to be a Hall of Fame coach. And the fact that we now have a Hall of Fame coach, to me, is a statement of intent. And I respect John Mara a lot, because he is on his deathbed, and he's been at every meeting to make sure this happened. So yeah, I'm very, very excited.
I think there's one thing holding you back, but I'm not going to say it until the preseason episode.
Okay.
But I think there's one thing that holds you back and limits you massively.
Massively.
Like to an extent where, you know, obviously you compare it to the Ravens, fair enough, he was a Ravens head coach. There's one thing for me, an outstanding issue.
What I will say is, if he brings fucking
I'll
Zach
get onto it.
Orr over, if he brings Zach Orr over, that's my only concern. But we've been linked with like Jim Leonard, which would be unbelievable, or Jim Schwartz would also be very, very good.
I like the route you've gone down. You sort of seen yourselves in win now, whereas we're more very much.
I think we've just gone for stability at head coach rather than trying to risk it with a first time again. It just hasn't worked.
I quite like the way we're going about it.
Yeah.
Looking at like young, decent offensive coordinators. We're gonna obviously. I'd say the pick is pretty much already in. We're likely going to have Fernando Mendoza next season. You probably want a young, offensive-minded coach to develop him. I personally, not as a head coach, I'd bring Brian Dable in as an offensive coordinator because he can develop a young quarterback very well. And I would personally bring him in, but it's whether he wants to drop down back to coordinator. But yeah, I like the way we're going about it. We might have a coach by the next episode. Who knows? But the main big one for me this week was Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin, obviously.
That's huge. He's only the third third head coach in Steelers history.
I mean, more to the point, my big thing with this is, how the fuck is Zach Taylor the only employed coach in that division? How on earth is he the one who survived?
That's mental. I don't know how he survived it. I think the Burrow injury has saved his job.
Yeah, it has. If he had a healthy Joe Burrow, they probably still don't make the playoffs.
I don't think they make the playoffs, and I think he gets sacked.
I just think his career is being saved by a very good quarterback and a very, very good receiving core, and that's about it.
I think I actually sent it into our group chat the other day. I saw a chart which was like balls thrown with the possibility of being intercepted based on where they're placed.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow was high and away the most accurate quarterback in the league. Do you want to guess who was bottom?
Eugene Cyril Smith.
No.
Would I expect it to be someone?
I'd say so.
Who throws a lot of picks? Fucking Jameis Winston. in his one game with that bad percentage.
On his rookie deal.
Rookie deal quarterback. It could be Jackson Dart, to be fair.
No, it's not. It's not. He was further down, don't get me wrong, but he
Yeah,
wasn't.
I expect to be right in the middle because he takes a lot of deep shots, which obviously
He
are going
wasn't
to.
anywhere near the level of this bloke. I'm surprised you've not said him already. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm trying to think, like, what a rookie was in a rookie or on a rookie deal.
Well, it's both.
Well, my rookie deal's lost a while.
Yeah, but he's obviously still on his rookie fucking deal. He's a rookie.
Oh right, who? I'm trying to remember who got drafted last year.
This is honestly, I'm surprised you've not got it.
Oh, Cam Ward.
No.
Who else went?
And think you are.
Oh, Shadur.
Yeah. Comfortably. He's honestly, God, I think his accuracy was like some of the
He
worst.
is crap, mate.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun next year. Hopefully, if we don't fuck up our draft, which is kind of hard to do.
The Browns fucking begged for that man at quarterback, and he is garbage.
It's going to be fun to have a decent quarterback so I can really take the piss out of Shadur Sanders.
It was also funny that there's a fucking college where that man's number retired
just because of his surname.
Because of his surname. He's only in the league because of his fucking surname.
I mean, look, Shane Gillis said it best, and I know he's a comedian, but he also speaks a lot of fucking sense on sports. He didn't get his jersey retired because he lost the Alamo Bowl. You know what I mean? Because he went like fucking, I don't know, like 23-11 in college. That does not get you your fucking jersey retired. It's because of his surname, and that's why he's in the fucking league.
With Travis Hunter, you sort of understand it. He won the Heisman.
He won the Heisman. I think
it doesn't happen a lot with Colorado.
It wouldn't shock me if Indiana go and win this, and then they retire Fernando Mendoza's number.
Yeah, I think they should, because that's an organization that doesn't tend to win national championships.
I mean, there'd be. I think I read something the other day. It'd be one of the first times in the national championship era that a team is playing for their first national title.
I'm very surprised.
You've got all like the unclaimed ones that people have fucking claimed.
That's a head coach to keep your eye on as well, I think.
Signetti. I just think he's built what he wants to build in Indiana, and he's just going to fucking stay there.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be in a way. You'd be silly to leave because you've built a team from nothing to be.
He built that, as he said. I win. Google me. That was a fucking cold line.
It's a great line.
Like, he just, he needs to stay there for me. I'm a massive fan of Signetti. I really like just how deadpan in the face he is. Just like he just doesn't. He never celebrate. I think even if they win the fucking thing, he's gonna be stood there just sipping champagne, looking miserable as fuck, and I love that.
I need the Jeremy Clarkson clip for the Titans fans as well, where he starts bursting out laughing after they thought John Harbaugh was using the Giants as leverage to go to the Titans.
Yeah, that's weird. Unless he's a massive fan of country music, I can't see that happening.
Like, I mean, I think I'm more happy as well that, regardless of what you think of John Harbaugh, the fact that we wanted him and we made sure it happened. Like, we didn't piss him out. We got him in the building. We got it done. And it was no risk. He was done. He was our head coach. I think that's for me. That's why I give the credit to Mara, because the poor bloke is literally dying, and he has come to every single meeting to push that through to help make sure. I'm also surprised that he's going to keep Joe Shane on as GM, because I thought Harbaugh would want his own GM, and it would be like, well, if Shane's going to be an obstacle, then fuck off.
I think the perfect thing for the Giants and for the Jets, to be fair, in free agency and coaching carousels is you're a very attractive location. You know, especially for a young player, maybe in free agency, a rookie who, you know, is thinking between teams. New York, okay, you don't play in New York, but New York is a very attractive location. So, you know, if you're offered a fucking deal from, I don't know, same amount of money, you can either go to Missouri and go and play for Kansas, or you can be in New York.
I think for me, it's like you've got, for us, it's now you now have you're playing in New York, New Jersey, but you know what I mean. You're in a close proximity to New York. You have a Hall of Fame coach, a franchise quarterback, and established players basically everywhere. Bar even a wide receiver, we have one. Maybe you need another one, but this is an established team that's ready to go win games. And I think for me, the two I'd obviously look at is Tyler Linderbaum, who's a free agent. We need a center desperately.
I think he is a Raider.
I don't know, but I feel like with Harbaugh, it would make sense. And Isaiah Likely, for me, I don't know what apparently his weird relationship with Harbaugh, but we need a tight end because Theo Johnson, again, like AJ Brown, could not catch a fucking cold.
I just think we've got more money to offer Linderbaum.
You do, but I also think we're gonna start cutting people on height. Like Devin Singletary's taking up too much cap. I think Thibodeau might get traded. I don't hate either way, but it's a cap hit off the board. Like Hudson's on like stupid amount of money. He needs to get cut. Gano's on like 9 mil a year. Get rid. Like it's just silly things that need to get cut off the roster, and all of a sudden you open up like 40 million cap space. I was still thinking is like you do like them 4 things, cut them 4 players and trade Thibodeau, you open up like 50 million in cap space for this year. Like it is that simple.
You've got to do it fast because you can't tell me that players aren't already reaching out to people, whether it's fucking legal.
I don't think John Arbaugh's going to mess around when he sees the likes of fucking Devin Singletary and Evan Neal, Jalen Hyatt. They're all going to go
unless he truly believes he can turn them around.
No.
Anyway, we've gone off on a bit of a tangent here.
Yeah. We'll move on. So we go to our predictions for the divisional round, and we will start. I've done new graphics again, by the way. You'll be buzzing to know.
I swear you fucking nabbed these graphics. Oh, you've made your own.
I have made my own.
I swear you nabbed last week from ESPN.
I nabbed it from somewhere. Well, I nabbed the playoff bracket thing, but I
can't believe you put that picture from fucking Hickory in there.
Yeah, I was told I was said can it be used as the picture for predictions? So I thought I'd oblige to the fantasy.
Not a sponsor, but if anyone ever fancies going to watch the NFL somewhere, go to Hickory's. You get a free pointy finger.
But this is where I'm very, very torn because I don't know. So I'll let you go first.
I'm not torn at all. I think this Broncos team.
I know you're not. I knew you were going to just fucking write them off.
I've spoken about this Broncos team all season long, right? I don't need to go into detail for it. I think this is the end of the road for them, and it would be fucking poetic because it's the team that knocked them out last year as well. The only thing for me scary about the Broncos in the playoffs is the weather. This team is from Buffalo. They're pretty well suited to the weather, so I just think this is the end of the road for the Broncos, and I fucking hope it is as well. Because how the fuck is that team the 1 seed in the AFC? And I think if the Bills win this, I might throw a bit of money on them. And okay, the odds will be shit, but...
I was going to say, if you're going to do it, I'd do it now.
I just think if they win 2 road playoff games, obviously they'll have to win 3 because the Chargers are out now. So there will never be another game at Highmark. But if they go through, win 2, the only thing that's making me worry is an AFC West opponent again. So Josh Allen's kryptonite in the playoffs.
On the road.
But it's not the Chiefs. And the refs aren't going to get involved as much. So cue me fucking having a meltdown when the refs get involved. But I just think, I think the Bills have got enough to win this game. They showed me enough last week in a road game, in a climate that they're not a fan of, to now go into a climate that they fucking love. That I think that this, for me, is a Bills win, and I don't see anything else.
I have backed the Bills, and I've been very torn because I, unlike you, haven't written this Broncos team off as a complete shit team because they are the 1 seed and they deserve to be, in my opinion, with how they've played on the back end of the year. But I just... The only thing that makes me back the Bills is I just think Josh Allen knows it's the 1 year he's not going to face his kryptonite. However, they're on the road again against from that division, which he's going to start getting Vietnam flashbacks the second they see the fucking Broncos walking out, I think, just on the road against a team in this division. It doesn't end well for Josh Allen in the playoffs. But I really don't know what to do with this one. I've been flip-flopping the entire week trying to decide who I think is going to win this game because I really do believe the Broncos have enough to beat this Bills. The Bills have struggled against good defenses. That has been the nature of the beast this year. Every time they've faced a half-decent defense, they've either struggled or they've just lost. Just looking back at that Texans game, for example, for I believe a Texans defense which is very much on the similar level as the Broncos defense, and the Broncos beat the Texans. So I can't. I'm not ruling them out like you. Like you obviously you wrote this Broncos team about 8 weeks ago from winning.
I wrote them out when I had to watch them beat us 10-7, and I thought, I'm sorry, but a team who's going to put 10 points on the Raiders.
What about the team like the Patriots who fucking lost to the Raiders?
And nearly fucking lose. Yeah, that's week 1. Week 1 is basically just a fucking extension of preseason. Everyone knows that. This was fucking established into the season, and this Broncos team looked dog shit. They nearly lost to the team that have the number 1 pick in the NFL. So I just think this is a team who don't have what it takes to win a ring. And I don't even think they have what it takes to get out of this. And I said they'd lose their first playoff game, so I'm going to stick to that.
The Bills also put 12 points on the Eagles, who got cooked by Demarcus Robinson.
This is playoff Josh Allen. Playoff
But like, I'm looking
bonus.
at the
Playoff
Bills,
bonus.
and again, I've called the Patriots out for this, and they haven't beaten anyone good. The only good team the Bills have beaten is the Patriots.
But the Broncos haven't really beaten anyone fucking decent.
Yeah, they have. They've beaten the Eagles. They beat
Right.
they beat the Chargers.
Chargers stink.
Nah, come on. In a
The
regular
Chargers
season, they were
stink.
good.
When did they beat the Chargers? What week?
80.
Trey Lance was quarterback.
No, I'm joking. They beat the Packers, who are, I know, monumental collapse, but they were a good team. I just think they beat the Texans. That is a good team. There's no disputing.
That's what I'll give them. But
That's a
I
good
just don't
team.
think they've got enough. For me, they just shithouse it. And I don't think shithousing gets you very far in the playoffs. And I think they'll be out of it by half time.
I just can't see it, the Bills team putting enough points on the Broncos defense to be out of it. I just think if the Broncos are within a range where they can bring it back at the end of the game, if they're losing, they'll win the game.
They'll be losing.
If they get to the fourth quarter and they're only down by a touchdown, they win the game.
They lose this game for me. I genuinely don't see a word they win it, because I just don't think that winning them type of games works in the playoffs. The only team I can really remember doing it like that was the Bengals, with Evan McPherson fucking kicking them through every single week. But even then, it got brought to a fucking calamitous end in the Super Bowl final. So either way, look, this Broncos team, if they win this game, they're not going to win a ring. I'm happy. So I just rather they went out this time, just to spare us all the stress.
I will say, if the Broncos win and my predictions reign true, we could have one of the most boring AFC Championship games of all time.
That's almost why I want the Texans to lose and the Bills to win.
What I will say is, obviously, these teams met in the playoffs last year, and it didn't end well for the Denver Broncos.
The Bills put belt to ass is what happened.
However, I think the Broncos have matured a bit since then, especially in terms of Bo Nix. And I'll put it this way: my decision now. Are we counting these predictions towards our leaderboard or not?
I don't know.
Because if we're not, I'm backing the Broncos. If we are, I'll back the Bills just as a safety.
I don't see it. I think
the Broncos will win, but I'm going to stick with the Bills just for safety. But I
get that you're a big Bo Nix fan and all that bollocks, but I think this is the end of the road for them. He looked tragic in the last playoff game.
It's just that's a year ago. He's won so many games since then.
I don't think he's matured.
They've won 14 games this year. I just think
he looks like the same quarterback he was in his rookie season. Just the rest of the team has got better.
They've lost one game since week 3.
Yeah, and they're about to lose fucking 2. That game was to a Jags team who, have been decent this year, but they fucking, was it to the Jags?
It was to the Jags, yeah.
Yeah. The Jags look like decent that day, and obviously the Broncos defense is good, but if you're telling me that an offense of Trevor Lawrence, a quarterback, is better than the Buffalo offense.
Well, for a period of time at the end of the season, it was.
But like I said, playoff Josh Allen, and Josh Allen's going to ring true again, and then he's going to go home and have a great time with his wife.
Fuck's sake. I just think 273, 1 touchdown ain't going to cut it.
I think it will.
He ain't going to get the rushing freedom that he had against.
I think 1 touchdown could win this game. You could win this game 7-0. The Broncos play shit game.
So I reckon the Broncos will win.
I don't. I genuinely think this is the end of the road.
For the sake of predictions counting, I'm not going to change it, but I really do think the Broncos will win.
I was sort of debating this with myself, and I'll let you have an opinion on it. But just imagine it's like the Eagles or something. Would you rather one of your rivals in your division got all the way to the Super Bowl and lost in like heartbreaking fashion? I'm talking like Minneapolis Miracle style.
Or just
that wasn't the Super Bowl, or just lost this game.
Probably. I don't know. I feel like if they've made the playoffs, then all the way to the Super Bowl to lose.
I don't know. I'd like to agree with that.
Because the hate watch is unbelievable on Super Bowl night when you're absolutely battered watching your biggest rivals lose.
It is, but at the same time, I don't
have to do that this year. There's no NFC East team, so I don't care anymore.
I enjoy the Super Bowl. I enjoy the night of the Super Bowl.
I can this year because I don't have to hate much.
The last 4 fucking Super Bowls, I've had to hate someone.
Yeah.
Give me one where I don't hate anyone.
The last Super Bowl was so bad, I had to hate I had to like the Chiefs last year.
Yeah, I was very pleased.
That's how bad it got. But yeah, no, for me, I'm just going. We'll move on. But I think the Broncos will win this game. I've got a feeling.
I
Next
can't
up,
see.
and this is another one. I'm sort of flip flopping again already. The Seattle Seahawks
Quarterback
versus
so
San
ass, you've gone
Francisco.
for quarterback so ass, you've gone for
Yeah,
skill positions instead.
we've all gone Seahawks here, and I'm very tempted to flip this again because
Look,
Sam Darnold, as notoriously my best mate, Sam Darnold, he shits the bed on the big stage.
that game last year against a very good Rams defense, they were fucking on fire that day, which is kind of a a bad thing to say, as so was their city. But I just think Sam Darnold in the playoffs is not what you want. Yeah, he was terrible that day, and he was doing his usual seeing ghosts. But I think they've got enough as a team to win this game. I'm tempted to flip it, but I've said it all season round, and it just keeps coming back to bite me. When are these 49ers injuries going to catch up to them?
Are they going to catch up to them?
I think this is the game where they could, personally.
I don't even think if they lose, it's even probably the injuries catching up to them. They're probably just losing to a better team. But this 49, the Seahawks team's only lost one game since week 5.
People forget, because obviously they've not been the powerhouse they once were in the NFL. People forget how hard it is to go to Seattle and win. It's one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. The weather can be fucking disgusting. I just think that home field advantage and the loudness of it is what's going to fuck over. Like, Brock Purdy, okay, I'm happy to admit now he's a half decent quarterback, right?
He is. He's been brilliant the back end of this year.
But I think he might struggle with his counts in this game.
It's fine. You just hit the fucking Dougie in the end zone when he scores. It's all right.
That I quite enjoy that. I'll give him that.
I do also enjoy that. My favorite, right? Seahawks have looked on better because of their last sort of 3 games where they've beaten the Rams, Panthers, and the 49ers. That was, for me, this is why I think the 49ers will win, because they would have wanted this. This is the game they will have wanted after losing the 1 seed in week 18. That they will want their chance to, with the revenge away from home, to be able to, as they did it at 49ers place, they're going to want to go to Seattle's place and they're going to want to do it back to them. Realistically, losing George Kittle is a big thing, but they've been winning games with half their roster injured. I don't think it really makes a difference. Someone will step up in that position. I think Ricky Pearson might be back, so then you bring him in and it sort of cancels out. You've still got Jake Tunges, who has shown at times this year who can be a serviceable tight end when you need him.
I mean,
for me,
I feel bad calling him injury prone because, I mean, he did literally get shot. But the more eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that I have, in fact, moved. I got savagely kicked out of my usual recording space due to the fact we're doing this quite late on. So, yeah, I'll pass you back over to James.
Yeah, but I just think this is the perfect revenge story for San Francisco. And this team just seems to win no matter what this year. Like every time I said, oh, they're injured, that's the season over. No, it wasn't. They won't make the playoffs, though, because they're so injured. They did. They won't win the first game because they're so injured. They did. How many times have we got to say they won't do it until they don't, is my thing with the 49ers. And you know what? Fuck the, you know what? I'm flipping. I'm going 49ers. I'm going for the revenge story. Sam Darnold, shit. He won 14 games last year and shit the bed.
He did.
So going off that logic, albeit they weren't the 1 seed, I still think the only game I've ever seen Sam Darnold play in a big game he's not shit the bed was the game against these lot last time. And he still only put 13 points.
I was going to say, even though that was a bad game, I really hope that this game is better than their last meeting.
The only thing is, obviously, this Seahawks defense is elite. And I've said it about a lot of teams, but I just think with the other teams, there's some offensive firepower. And bar JSN just forgot, they seem to have forgotten existed for the past, last 3 weeks of the season. Which, if that continues, then this offense has basically no firepower in it if they don't throw the ball to JSN. So I'm going to flip. I'm going 49ers. I just think there's something about this 49ers team, and I just think they're going to carry on their run.
I think they've got it in them. I don't think this is a foregone conclusion at all. I think it's just a safe pick to pick the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm just bored of being boring.
Although I do worry that Sam Darnold could fuck this up. By the way, if I'd have put a tenner on all my predictions last week, I would have won 270 quid.
Super.
Because
I did put a tenner on all my predictions and won nothing.
I got all of them correct.
1-0 because Justin Herbert can't win a playoff game, and the Packers with the. To be fair, if I did it on 365, I would have won the Packers because I believe I would have.
Yeah, you got the early payout on it.
So if I'd done it on preseason 5, I actually would have won the Packers one. So it would have just
No,
been the Chargers. So it's probably more. It's better that I didn't. So it would have been less demoralising to see that only the Chargers had let me down.
yeah, true, true. I had
Uh,
a few. I had a few last week. They all came close, but sadly nothing. We go again this week. Up the punters.
Next up, and probably to the surprise of many, the Patriots host the Texans. Max is the sole man back in Drake May and the New England Patriots. And I think I've pretty much already said it, but this Patriots team hasn't convinced me. And this Texans team for me is a true contender with how good that defense can be.
We both sort of already spoke about this game.
Yeah.
In their respective previous reviews that we did. I just think that, look, the only thing potentially that is putting me off is CJ Stroud didn't perform in Kansas last year. It's a very similar climate. It's not a very similar team. There's just not, it lacks the sort of firepower that a Chiefs has. I think the Patriots can win this game. I don't think it's going to be a long shot scoring one like the Texans' last game was. But I just think they sort of hit a bit of a wall against the Chargers. They could have made a massive statement. They could have gone and smashed them. They didn't. And I think this defense is better than the Chargers' defense. I think they're going to struggle to score. If the Patriots win this game, I think they're the real deal, which is a shame because why can't they be shit? But I just think that this is where the road ends for them. And it's kind of annoying as well. Like I'd much rather see a Patriots Bills in the championship game than a Texans Broncos. Like no
This is
one
what I
wants
sort of
to.
alluded to. Because I think the Broncos will win. I think the Texans will win. It could be a very boring AFC Championship game, but
No one wants to see that. Not even people who love defensive football. Not a single person wants to see that.
no.
But I just think this could be where it ends. Yeah, like I say, the only thing that's sort of making me want to flip it is just the weather. I've not checked the weather in Foxborough, Massachusetts, because contrary to popular belief, I do have a life. So I've not actually checked that, but I imagine it's not nice. But yeah, I just think that this Texans team has just, like I said before, the playoffs, they were the form team in the league, and they've just continued it, and they continued with the fucking beatdown of a man who's going to be in the Hall of Fame in his last ever game.
And what day are they playing? Saturday. Sunday.
No, they're
Sunday.
Sunday.
3 degrees and snowing.
Well, I mean, if it's proper snow, and I'm talking like proper snow,
It seems
then
to be very sleety snow.
if it's real life snow that settles and
Yeah.
fucking makes the Patriots look like some sort of Christmas card, then give me the Patriots. If it's sleet, if it's rain, I'm gonna fuck. Give me the Texans.
Yeah. I've grown with this Texans team every week to believe in them more, and I've made a very vocal point how I still don't believe the Patriots have beaten many good teams this year, and I think this is the first big test, and I think they're going to falter, just not having the experience of facing very good teams so far this season, bar the Bills, who even then have their weaknesses and are showing it in the regular season. I think when there finally comes now that they're playing a good team, it's just going to be more of a unexpected factor that they're not used to a team really giving them a game and like really putting them under pressure, especially in like obviously they lost to you, but that was week one. You know, it's a bit weird in week one, like the later weeks of the season. And I went through the talent on this Texans defense. It is a joke. It's it is the best unit in the league, I think, overall. There's so much. These are like all pros in almost every position on the defense. So I really struggled to see whether the Patriots can break through that and win this game. With how good the Texans have been, they're probably one of the most informed teams going into the playoffs. I think they'll continue it, and I think they could potentially win the AFC Championship. I think whoever wins this game will win the AFC. I really think this is the winner of the AFC here.
The only thing in the back of my mind, and I realise they're two completely different levels of teams, sort of thing, but it's that Rams game last year when the Rams played the Eagles, and the Rams were fucking hammering them at the start of the game, and then the snow started coming down, and
Yeah.
you've just seen it switch, and I think that could happen here. The Texans play in a bowl stadium with a dome. They're not used to kicking outside. They're not used to throwing outside. It's an advantage Patriots in every way, apart from players on the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see how that one goes. But finally, we've alluded to it many times. It's the Rams versus the Bears, and again, I guess I'm going to have to be the one. I got to back the Rams. I've done it all year long. I can't falter now, and I wouldn't anyway. I really wouldn't. Even if I didn't back them all year long, I'd still back them in this game. The Rams travel to Chicago, and my only concern with this game is nothing to do with the rosters, because on pure rosters, this Rams batters the Bears in basically every metric. It's the weather.
we've alluded to weather in quite a lot of games. Chicago isn't known as the Windy City for nothing.
It is at the minute as well. Have you seen
And
it?
it's fucking crazy. It's mental. That stadium, I'm going to be quite sad when that gets demolished and they might bring a bowl and a dome in. Doesn't need to happen. That's home field advantage right there. And for me, historically, if we're going fucking years and years back, Chicago Bears home playoff football is NFL fucking heritage. So I quite like. Look, I've been very vocal about my like of the Bears. I believe Roma Dunze is back for this game, which is massive. Um, but I'm. This is very much more a bias pick than it is an actual. I think they'll beat the Rams, but I do think with that weather, the Rams coming from you know California, one of the hottest states in the country, to an absolute shithole in Chicago. There's also the fucking stadium's falling down. The place is a dive, and there's a lot of wind. Everything points for me in that sort of metric to a Bears win. I just think, look, if the Bears win this game, they're somehow in a championship game, and I think they are better than the Red. No, we can't call them that anymore. Than the Commanders were last year. So I don't know. I'm not going to say they're going to win a ring, but if they win this game, I think we need to take them a little bit more seriously. I can't believe I've nearly called them that on here. I sincerely apologise to everyone. It's been many, many years since I've last used that phrase.
Look, at the end of the day, the weather's been terrible, but it's clearing up for this. It will be very cold. It's looking about -8 at time of game.
Celsius.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
-8 at the time we get on Sunday, it says in
That's
Chicago.
playoff football, man. That's what the playoffs are all about.
But no snow, it looks like. I've just checked the weather now. No snow, and it's clearing up a bit. So if it's just cold, the Rams can deal with it. The wind doesn't look to be too bad either. So I just think, I mean, obviously, I'm obviously about the Rams, right? I've done it literally since before the draft. I said this team would be in the Super Bowl by the end of the year. I'm still confident they will be. I just think that the big test for them was, can they avoid the banana peel? And they did. And I don't think these games are banana peels because they're playing very good teams now. But as I said, I'm just not sold on the Bears again. You know, if you feel like if they had played a Rams in that Packers game last week, would they have come out with a win? Probably not. So Matthew Stafford is the MVP. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't care what anyone says about Drake May. This is the MVP by a distance, in my opinion. Drake May's been unbelievable, but I think if you look at the stats in every metric, Matthew Stafford's been better. And with this, you know, with Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, plus this offensive line, which is brilliant, a very, very solid defensive unit, albeit maybe not the last couple of weeks, they may not have shown it. The talent is still there to cause issues. You know, they've got Byron Young on the edge, for example. Landman's been brilliant this year at linebacker, so Quentin Lake as well. So I just think I've backed the Rams the whole way. I can't stop now, and I really do believe that if you look at this for team, the Rams beats the Bears in. I can't really think of many positions where the Bears have better player on their roster than the Rams do. I really struggle to find many positions, maybe by like tight end, but even then, would you argue that Loveland or they are better than Parkinson? Probably not.
I think so. I really like Carson Loveland.
I feel like the way they use the tight end, the Rams do it way better than the Bears.
Yeah, true.
So I just think, yeah, for me, I'm going to stick with the people I've backed the whole way. The team I've basically supported now for the rest of the year because I've backed them. So the only reason why I care, I just want to be right. But I do quite like the Rams. I just really like Matthew Stafford. I also want to say that I saw the MVP and Super Bowl champion quarterback live in the year where he did it.
But I would rather say that I've shook hands with a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Well, yeah, very true. Very true. But I mean, I don't have that fucking option. Well, I do actually. Sam Darnold. I have asked Sam Darnold a question. So I have interviewed Sam Darnold, so that would be nice. Like I say, I've interviewed a Super Bowl champion, so either Seahawks or Rams, give me one of them as a playoff winner. But yeah, for me, I'm sticking with the Rams. I just can't look past how talented this roster is and how good. I mean, just the whole fact that Matthew Stafford has been this good in a year who thought he might even start week one. That he's played every game and he is the MVP. It's just unbelievable at his age as well. It's a joke.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I do worry about your by a distance. I don't think it's by a distance. You're kind of very stats orientated in these personal awards. You know, you were very much.
I just think Matthew Stafford has been the best quarterback in every metric.
You were a campaigner for Pavia for Heisman.
He deserved it.
I was a campaigner for him being the run. He didn't deserve the Heisman. The Heisman only should have gone to one man. It went to the right man. But I think Matthew Stafford is the MVP. I don't think it's by a distance, though.
I just think if you look at, I don't see what any possible metric could lead you to Drake May over Matt Stafford. He's thrown more touchdowns. He's passed for more yards. I believe he's thrown less picks. I don't know where this whole meltdown the last 2 weeks of the year. I still think it was less because he'd only thrown 2 up to that point anyway. I just think this man doing what he does at 39 years of age, the fact he's never been a top 5 MVP voted player in his career, to me is insanity. I don't know how with he's a Super Bowl champion. I don't know how he's not ever managed to do this, but I think this is his year to get the MVP, to win a ring, and to just ultimately probably could be the end of his career. I think if he wins it.
I think it will be.
I think it's a nice way to go out as an MVP and a Super Bowl champion. Would be a perfect way to. I feel like his career will determine on if they win the Super Bowl or not. If they do, he'll call it a day. If they, at least he still could call it a day if they lose. But I think he'll want one last go.
It's not like he needs to win a Super Bowl. He's already done that. He's basically already accomplished everything. He's probably going to be the MVP. I think no matter what the result, even in this game is, we could have seen the last snap of Matthew Stafford's career.
I really like Matt Stafford, and I really hope it's not the end of his career, but I think it might be.
I've liked Stafford since the Lions. I remember saying to my brother many, many years ago that if he gets out of that situation, he wins a ring, and it's probably the best prediction I ever made. It was very, very widespread. Everyone sort of knew that, but I was only 12. So
I think the best prediction I've ever made will be these lot winning the Super Bowl if they do. Because I said it before they even made a draft selection or signing in off-season. Anything.
My predictions were kind of bad this year, but we go again next year.
Divisional was terrible, but this was the one prediction that I still got alive, and it was the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl.
To be fair, he won't win it, but I had Liam Cohen for Coach of the Year.
I genuinely don't even want to know who I put down for Coach of the Year at the start of the year. In fact, I probably put Sean McVay, which again he won't win it, but it's not an awful shout. If he
I also had the first coach to be sacked as Kellen Moore, and he's still there.
I think I had Shane Steichen. So to be fair, could probably happen if it continues out the way that they've been going. But for a while that looked like a horrendous shout. Nowadays, it's not as awful as it looked 9 weeks into the year. But
no, when they were tearing the fuck out of the
when they were 7-1, I was like, oh shit. But now they've missed the playoffs. It's a bit more okay. It's not good, but it's not terrible.
But again, he's sort of got the leeway of your quarterback one got injured.
Yeah, true. He won't get fired, but I'm saying it just looks a lot better now they missed the playoffs rather than if they'd won 14 games this year. It would have been insane.
You had to bring in a fucking granddad.
Which was stupid because Riley Leonard looked quite good in the game he played at the end of the year anyway. So
I don't even rate Riley Leonard, but he's better than fucking Philip Rivers.
Bless him, man. I respect it so highly that he decided to do it. But
I like the fact that I actually read something. It was like your NFL insurance policy for yourself and your family stops 5 years after you leave the league. If you play one snap in the league, you get your 5 years reset.
Fair enough.
So he's just secured another 5 years of insurance.
Fair enough.
But it did also reset his Hall of Fame clock.
It did.
So,
speaking of Hall of Fame, that's where Matthew Stafford will end up in.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be a first ballot unless he wins this Super Bowl. But I think he will be a Hall of Fame.
I think it depends on who's in the ballot by the time it comes around in 5 years' time for when he comes up, because quarterback talent is low.
Yeah, Rodgers.
I think Rodgers will be earlier though, because I think he will be a first ballot and he'll be in.
Yeah, true.
It depends. Obviously, if they both retire this year, it's a different story. But
Rodgers should be a first ballot.
Rodgers will. He's a full-time MVP. He has to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And Matt Stafford will be a Hall of Famer in my opinion. He deserves it.
Oh, he should be, but I don't think he'll be a first ballot.
No, neither. But that is our predictions done.
Quickly, I know we've been on this for a while. Give me a quick prediction, James. Doesn't count towards it. Indiana or Miami?
I can't back against Indiana, but I think the Miami defense will cause problems.
I worry about Fernando Mendoza's legs. If they injure him, that's me done with this sport. But I think
I probably won't be able to watch it, but every time I've watched Miami, the more convinced I am with Francis Mauigoa. He was so good in that last game.
Miami are ridiculous all around, to be honest. But I just think Indiana are just going to want it more.
Yeah, I sort of hope they lose in a way because I really want us to nab Elijah Sarrett in the second round.
We picked before you in that round.
I don't think. Oh yeah, true. To pair him up with Mendoza.
We need a wide receiver. I could see us pairing them up.
True, very true.
We need a line help, but I think that my sort of hope is that we fix that in free agency, and then take Elijah Sarah because I really want him. He's fucking them. His over the shoulder catch is where he just like, oh, he's ridiculous, man. Yeah, you might see him. I don't think he's a first round talent, but you might see me sneak him in one of our mock drafts.
Let's just say we can all laugh at the Jets who have been fucked over. Same all going back to school.
I don't actually have him fucked over. I really don't rate him.
Neither, but it's more the fact that they finally had a year where they could have drafted a quarterback in the top 3 and there isn't anyone worth it anymore.
I sort of worry about. Well, I don't worry about the Jets. It's very funny.
The Jets are going to get on the phone to you and offer like 6 first-round picks to trade up.
I've told you I wouldn't accept any amount of.
No, you wouldn't, but your fucking front office would drool over 4 or 5 first-round picks.
They shouldn't. They shouldn't because historically we're so bad.
Agreed, but they are stupid, so they will take it if the offer.
We've got a new GM, and I think it very much comes down to what Tom Brady wants.
Yeah. How much does he believe in Fernando Mendoza?
I think Tom Brady believes in Fernando Mendoza quite a lot, based on what you're saying on TV the other day.
No matter what. I mean, it's like our fans who went back in the day said, "Oh, why didn't we trade up for Drake May? We fucking tried to trade up for Drake May multiple times, but the Patriots were obviously not going to do it."
I think you've got to offer us quite a lot to get us out of that pick.
Yeah.
But me personally, I wouldn't accept anything. I think that guy is ready.
You're right to not want to trade it. But I think your front office would drool of like the Jets, especially with that many 2027 first round picks. How good the draft
is. They're who worry me. But
their draft picks are lovely. You get like Jeremiah Smith and then draft like an Arch Manning, for example.
I don't know what Arch Manning. I just think that the Jets are too stupid to actually inquire.
Yeah, I don't think they realise how good their draft picks look on paper.
I think they're more likely to go down the Kyler Murray route.
I think they're better off as they are anyway. I think just take whoever, even trade down from 2, let someone else take it,
we'll see.
Build up even more capital, and then next year they'll have an unbelievable amount of picks.
It really would shock me if they just traded.
They could end up with like 4 first-round picks next year.
I'd love it if they traded for a Kyler Murray. That'd be great. I don't think we're going to do it.
Would the Cardinals trade up anymore? I don't think they really feel the need to anymore.
Yeah, but I just think if you offered them, I think the Jets would offer them a big package as well because it's the fucking Jets.
They should be giving them to them rather than the Jets asking for him.
Yeah, I'm glad the whispers of us and him have sort of died down.
Yeah. But that is it for this episode. We've gone for a while now, so we'll call it there. So obviously we'll be back for next week with our AFC and NFC Championship game predictions as well as looking back on all of these games. But thank you very much for Kian joining me as always, and we will see you all in the next one.